Okay, quick final notes on domain and range. What are they? Domain and range talk about the values of x and y that the function can actually have. So we're talking about parabolas. I'm going to draw an example in a minute, but first I'm going to define domain and range. Domain. All the values of x included in the function. All the values of x included in the function. So the domain is considering the values of x. That's all the horizontal options. The range is all the values of y included in the function. So the range refers to all of the values of y that are part of the graph, part of the function that the parabola can satisfy or take. So I'm going to go ahead and draw a parabola. And I'm going to just say that the vertex is 1, 5. It opens down. So in this case, this parabola is going to go forever and ever and ever, this leg and this leg. Which means if it's going infinitely this direction, and it never goes straight down, it's always going out a bit, that means it's actually going to go, its domain is all the values of x. I can plug in x equals 1 billion into this thing and I'll still get a value for y. So all of the values of x are included in our green parabola that we drew. There's no restrictions. Any value of x from negative infinity to positive infinity is included in the green parabola because it goes forever. Now let's look at the range. Is the range also infinite? Or is there a restriction? Good. If I look going down, there's no restriction. It can go to negative infinity. But if I look going up, there are no values for y up here. As a matter of fact, there's no values for y above y equals 5. So the domain for the graph that we've drawn, we would say there are no restrictions on x. No restrictions on x. That means x can be any value in the whole world. Another way to say that using math language and symbols is x belongs to the set of real numbers. X element r. This is a funny E with, it's like a C with a line through the middle. It means belongs to. X belongs to the set of real numbers. That means any number in the whole world could be x. Okay? So that means if this function was y equals negative x minus 1 plus 5, I could put any value in there for x and I would still get a y. There's no restrictions. Now the range is different. There are restrictions on the range. The range deals with all the values of y, right? The range is all the values of y included in the function. Well, y belongs to the set of real numbers as well, but this means this long straight up and down line means such that y belongs to the set of real numbers such that y is less than or equal to 5. So the range of this function is y is less than or equal to 5. And we got that right here because we know its vertex is at y equals 5, and we know it opens down. So there's no value, no green value greater than 5. 5 is the greatest value. So all the other values of y are either less than or equal to 5. This is the domain dealing with the x values of the function. This is the range dealing with the y values of the function. Now, think of every parabola in the whole world. What's going to be true about the domain of every single parabola you ever deal with? There's no restrictions. What's going to be true about the range of every single parabola you deal with? There is a restriction, because all of them have either a maximum point or a minimum point. Okay? If it had a minimum point, and let's say the vertex was at 0, 0, 4, then we would say y is greater than or equal to 4. That would be the range of that one. Okay? There's some examples for domain and range. Now you should be able to do your assignment.